that as much as we have now the reign of King Charles and Queen Consort Camilla, the future is William and Kate.
And
The British monarchy has always been built on tradition, duty, and carefully guarded secrets. But behind the palace walls, where cameras cannot reach, family decisions can carry a weight far greater than any public ceremony. And according to this dramatic royal story, a tense moment unfolded when Prince William found himself facing a difficult choice, one involving his daughter, Princess Charlotte, and Queen Camilla. A choice that would test loyalty, family boundaries, and the future direction of the monarchy. The future of the crown is no longer just about titles. It is about the next generation. Prince William, the Prince of Wales, has spent years preparing for the responsibility that awaits him. Alongside Catherine, Princess of Wales, he has focused on raising his children with a strong understanding of duty, compassion, and the history behind their royal role. Among those children, Princess Charlotte has often captured public attention. Known for her confidence, charm, and calm personality, she represents an important link between the past and the future of the royal family. But in this story, a private disagreement allegedly placed her future at the center of a royal divide. The moment began during what appeared to be an ordinary family gathering. Away from cameras and public appearances, the royal family gathered together in a relaxed setting. The children played freely, enjoying a rare moment without the pressure of official duties. Prince George showed the confidence expected of an older sibling. Prince Louis brought his usual energy and playful personality. But Princess Charlotte stood out. She carried herself with a maturity that surprised many around her. Her parents watched proudly as she interacted with the family, unaware that the peaceful atmosphere would soon change. According to this dramatized account, Queen Camilla approached Prince William with a request involving Charlotte's future guidance and royal preparation. Camilla, having spent years serving alongside King Charles, believed her experience could help prepare the younger generation for the responsibilities ahead. But William saw the situation differently. For him, decisions about Charlotte's future belonged first and foremost to her parents. He believed that protecting his children's independence was one of his greatest responsibilities. The disagreement was not about a simple family preference. It represented a much larger question. Who gets to shape the future of the monarchy? The story claims that William had already made his position clear. He wanted Charlotte's upbringing and royal education to remain guided by the values he and Catherine had chosen. The princess was not just a future royal figure. She was their daughter. And William was determined that her childhood would come before her title. The tension reportedly increased when discussions turned toward tradition, responsibility, and the changing face of the monarchy. Camilla believed her experience within the institution gave her valuable insight. William believed that the next generation required a different approach. A new era, a new vision, and a stronger focus on the immediate family. The disagreement revealed something deeper about the royal family. Different generations often see duty in different ways. For some, preserving tradition is the highest priority. For others, adapting and protecting the future is what matters most. As the conversation continued, William reportedly remained firm. He was not rejecting experience. He was defending a boundary that centered around Charlotte's well-being and her future. But then, according to this dramatic retelling, another issue entered the conversation, one that made the situation even more complicated. Questions about influence, trust, and who would stand beside the young royals as they grew older. The monarchy depends on carefully balanced relationships. Every decision affects not only one person, but the entire institution. And for William, the responsibility was clear. Before he became king, before he carried the weight of the crown, he was a father protecting his child. The question now became, would this disagreement remain a private family matter? Or would it reveal deeper tensions about the future direction of the monarchy? As the palace prepared for the next chapter, one thing became clear. Princess Charlotte's future would not simply be decided by tradition. It would be shaped by the people closest to her. And Prince William was determined to make sure his voice was heard. But the story was far from over. Because what happened next would bring even more questions about family, loyalty, and the future of the royal family. The disagreement inside the palace was not simply about one conversation. It represented a much bigger question about the future of the monarchy. Who should guide the next generation? Who should influence the young royals as they prepare for a future filled with responsibility? And most importantly, who should have the trust of Princess Charlotte? According to this dramatic royal retelling, Prince William believed the answer was simple. Charlotte's future should be shaped by the people who know her best, her parents. For William, protecting his children's emotional world was just as important as preparing them for royal duty. He understood that one day Charlotte would carry a historic responsibility. But before she became a princess serving the crown, she was a young girl who needed stability, support, and a normal family environment. That belief reportedly became the foundation of William's decision. He wanted a clear boundary between royal tradition and personal family matters. The monarchy had changed over generations, and William believed the future required a different approach. A more personal monarchy. A more modern monarchy. One built around trust rather than obligation alone. The situation also highlighted the complicated relationship between different generations of the royal family. King Charles and Queen Camilla represent years of experience inside the institution. William and Catherine represent the next era. Both sides understand the importance of protecting the crown. But they may have different ideas about how that protection should look. For Camilla, sharing knowledge and experience could be seen as an important responsibility. For William, allowing his children to grow naturally while carefully preparing them for royal life was the priority. The disagreement showed that even within the most famous family in the world, decisions about children, trust, and family roles can become deeply personal. And that is what made the moment so significant. It was not just about a title. It was not just about tradition. It was about a father making a choice. A choice to place his daughter's needs above expectations. As the story continued, attention turned toward Princess Charlotte herself. Many observers have noticed her confidence during public appearances. From a young age, she has shown a strong personality and a natural understanding of royal occasions. But behind the public image is a child growing up under extraordinary circumstances. A child who must balance a private life with a very public future. William and Catherine have repeatedly focused on giving their children a sense of family, responsibility, and kindness. They want their children to understand that royal duty is not about privilege alone. It is about service. And in this dramatic account, William believed that lesson had to begin at home. The palace may be filled with history, ceremonies, and traditions. But every generation must decide what parts of that history should continue and what parts should change. For William, the future of the monarchy depended on protecting the next generation. And Princess Charlotte represented a major part of that future. The story of this alleged disagreement
was that Charles, the king himself, had once privately encouraged her to provide continuity for George.
A new vision. Tradition meeting change. Experience meeting a new generation. Whether inside palace walls or in the public eye, one message remained clear. Prince William's role was changing. He was no longer only preparing to become king. He was preparing to become the protector of the next chapter of the monarchy. And at the center of that chapter was Princess Charlotte, a young royal with a future that could one day place her among the most important figures in Britain. The crown will continue. The traditions will evolve. But the decisions made today will shape the monarchy of tomorrow. And as Prince William steps closer to his future role, one thing appears certain. When it comes to protecting his family, he is ready to stand firm.